Yo, how's it going, folks? So, with the recent chapter of One Piece coming out earlier than expected, and with no One Piece chapter next week because we're on a break, I decided to quick discussion on what to expect on the upcoming wedding that's going to take place in the day. Also, there's a lot of debates. There's a lot of topic discussions on what's going on right now with Luffy and Nami against the Big Mom army. What's going on right now? The interaction with we got with Puddin and Sanji. So I'll start with that, and then I'll make my way up to what I think is going to happen during the wedding. There's already been some setup here and there, but for the most part, I'll start off with Luffy and Nami against the Big Mom army because right now I'm curious about that because uh, Luffy says regardless of what happens, he's going to stay put until Sanji obviously comes out to feed him, but obviously we know the current situation that Sanji is in, so that's not going to happen. So my question is, number one, how's he going to get out of this jam with? Because he's taken apparently, to I understand, there's about 100 to 200 members of the Big Mom army about to attack Luffy and Nami. So it's not like it's a small bunch, but by the end of towards the end of the chapter, Luffy did use Jet Gatling. I'm sure Nami's going to put in the work as well. However, I don't think they can take them all on just because of the current position that Luffy's in, unless Nami really steps her game up. So that would be nice. But I got a funny feeling, uh, and I know a lot of other people have said this as well. She may end up using the Vivid card to command Prometheus the Sun and Zeus the Thundercloud, and probably take out the army. I don't know if he's going to take out Bobbins and the rest, at least the top tier members of the Big Mom army. Possibly because right now that's the only plot twist I can see. Or if that doesn't work out, then it may come down to Jinbei showing up, possibly with the Sun Pirates as well. I'm not too sure, but I'm leaning more towards Nami using the Vivid card. It's been the turning point in this arc, and Nami's been a major player, but she may be a crucial one in this marriage because technically, as of right now, unless Brooke or Pedro shows up in the next chapter, she's technically the only one that could get to the castle right now and maybe start the wedding. But there is a day to go, so there is a lot of time left, I guess. So and there's also a lot of confusion about when Nami was in the previous chapter and where she was in this chapter, how she was angry at Sanji. I think it's because a lot of people said that how could she not know that Sanji was full of it when he was talking the way he was, but Luffy could. Well, I don't think it's the case that she couldn't see through it. I think she did it because she was upset because of the situation Luffy's been put in, because she was there with Luffy the entire time while he was fighting Cracker. So you have to take that into consideration as well. On top of that, you got people debating all over Kiss Manga. Some of the comments are saying how Luffy compared this fight to Doflamingo against in his fight with Cracker, how it obviously drained him somewhat, but the fact that he's using Jet Gatling, even if he was drained, and let's not forget he took a beating from Sanji as well. So you have to give him props for that because it'd be easy if so. And again, you could argue, yes, he didn't want to fight Sanji, but he could have dodged some of those hits with observation hockey and even blocked some of them. So I don't know if he can use hockey or not. But right now, but the power scaling between Doflamingo and Cracker is kind of unfair considering the circumstances. Number one, you have to take in consideration the Cracker pretty much was against Luffy from the entire time, and yes, you could argue that it was kind of the biscuit shields that kind of drained Luffy, not necessarily Cracker himself, although the armor hockey was kind of impressive because it did pierce gear for Luffy, something that Doflamingo could not do in Dressrosa. So let's keep that in mind as well. And not only that, this is the third commander of Big Mom. So I don't know if the other two are going to come into play. And this is why I think we may get arrivals of other players for the new world because the wedding is a gathering. So maybe some allies from Straw Hats will appear. Hopefully, now that's the whole Nami and Luffy situation with Big Mom army. The other part of this topic discussion, probably the most debated one, is the whole discussion that Sanji had with Pudding, whether or not she was sincere about wanting to help him out, because she did say she wanted to fill the gap in Sanji's heart. But given what's going on right now, some people are giving her the benefit of doubt. Some others, understandably, don't really trust her. I got to be honest, I'm kind of 50-50 at the moment. I do have my doubts, but at the same time, I've been some certain scenarios that make me think, well, maybe she is sincere. But I think, no matter what, the bottom line is, even if she is stringing Sanji along, the bottom line is Sanji's going through this wedding anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference if we believe she's sincere. No, that's the problem. So I do think that Sanji, unless he's got a backup plan now, Sanji's going through this marriage. I kind of get the feeling there was some homies in that room as well. I did say that during my live reaction. And some of the things she did, I'll put out some of the things, and I can understand why a lot of people don't trust. Putting number one, she told the Straw Hats to go to Seducing Woods, well, not into the Seducing Woods, but to go on the coast where it led to the Seducing Woods. So maybe she didn't know. It's the genius of Oda, because he could plant the seed, but he could also twist it as well to make you think a certain way. So I don't know really what to believe. Obviously, from the moment they stepped on the coast, things went south. On top of that, the moment she interacted with the Straw Hats, Big Mom got word that Luffy was already here. So I don't know. But on top of that, when she said she was going to meet up with the Straw Hats, at that point in time she was being held. I don't know if she's been held up or not, but she was with the Manga, picking out ways. Maybe sincere about trying to meet him. Maybe she tried all she can do to get to him. So I don't know. And the way she was talking about Sanji to the Straw Hats, with obscuring Sanji being silhouetted when he's already met and why silhouetted. So that didn't make sense. But she did talk about it when Straw Hats wasn't there, so that kind of plays with your mind a little bit. And there would have been no need for her to mention Sanji in front of Tamago anyway, because there's no Straw Hats. She had observation on Brook and Pedro. Oh, I'm not too sure. However, I will say I get the feeling, even because she may be setting a trap for Sanji, but I don't think a lot of people have gone so far as to say she may be evil. If she was evil, then she wouldn't have reacted the way she did when Sanji ripped off the mask and showed her the beating he took from the Vince Smokes. It seemed like Pudding was more horrified than anything else. If there would be no need for Oda to introduce that if she was that heartless, but I don't know. Again, it's tough to say, but I think that's the coolest thing. When something isn't as predictable as you want to believe, that's when. And another thing too is that I really want to know how Big Mom was able to get her hands on handcuffs in the first place that belonged to the 10-year beater, because that's not just like something you can get out or go shopping on Amazon. No, that's like personal property for usage of slaves. So I don't know how Big Mom managed to get hands on the cuffs in the first place. Now the other question I have is, Sanji mentioned he was trying to he was looking to fight Big Mom, but since his hands are tied, I'm like, wait, because he can't fight back, but there's nothing stopping you from fighting Luffy. So I'm like, couldn't you that? So either Sanji's like not sincere about going through this marriage, but I get the feeling that he is, given the fact that he said, and this is what's kind of disappointing about this. Sanji said that I have no allies left I can count on. He says to Pudding, "You're my only savior." So I get the feeling, because he said that, I don't know if Pudding's gonna like betray him, because it's too early to say. And right now, there's already enough going against the Straw Hats as is, well, another betrayal in the works. I get the feeling there's going to be a betrayal in the Vince Smokes. I think they just try and pull him. She may get word of what. If it is a trap from Pudding, she may get word, and then she may try and do something. But the fact we didn't get to see much of her in this chapter, kind of suspicious to me. But regardless, nonetheless, with what's going on right now was, and the fact of the matter is, Sanji wasn't forced to like go through with this marriage anyway, because he said he was looking to disappear anyway to make sure none of the Straw Hats were harmed anymore. So it's kind of similar to what happened with Robin, and she's said something on the same lines as that, but in a different manner altogether. Sanji, I'm kind of disappointed because he's not trusting Luffy enough to sort this out, but at the same time, it's like he's trying to do this in order to protect Luffy, not really go against him. So but he should have more faith in Luffy than that. And he was there during All Park, and he was there during Enid's lobby. So, and Sanji was the first to chase after Robin in the first place. Once so first on the sea train, and he went for it. So, so Sanji must know what Luffy's going to do. Now that being said, I think Nami's going to be a crucial role. Like I said, I think she's the only person who can interrupt the wedding if it goes down, and it looks like it will, because Sanji is going through with this marriage. So I don't know if Nami might be able to put the wedding. I've predicted that throughout this arc from the beginning, and since this book is similar to Thrillbar, and it will be a nice throwback considering the fact that Sanji interrupted the wedding when it came to Nami and Absalom. Granted, interrupted the wedding, so it would be a nice and usually Nami's kind of cold when it comes to Sanji, this flirty way. So maybe it'd be a nice throwback to like do something for Sanji for a change. So, and she's already been a crucial part. If it wasn't for Nami and the Vivid card, Luffy would be probably foot right now in the hands of Cracker, because we don't know how that fight would have turned out. It may have gone longer than 11 hours, or maybe if it wasn't for Walton down the biscuit, Luffy consumed the biscuits, and if it wasn't for Nami manipulating the homies, who knows what would have happened. So that being said, so I get the feeling Nami's going to maybe the one that interrupt the wedding, but then you have Brook and you have Chopper possibly going to go. I'm assuming Brook and Chopper, so Chopper and Carrot are going to find him in the castle, possibly reunite. So there's that. Now, when it comes to the wedding, what we can expect, obviously, like I said, it's a gathering of people from not just members of the Vinsmoke and the Big Mom Pirates, but also a gathering of major players from the New World. So I don't know who's going to show up. The fact we've already seen Jinbei, maybe Bonnie at this point, but I don't know. Possibly Lola, because she has been mentioned enough in this arc. So, and then you get taking into consideration, we don't know where Capone is right now. We don't know where. The last time we saw him, he shot Peckhams, and then he was laughing like a maniac. So we don't know what happened to him. We have to find out what happened to Jinbei sooner or later, because I get the feeling. Not only that, you have the close has to blow up in Big Mom's face when it arrives. So you've got all this chaos about to go down. I do think at some point Luffy and Big Mom are going to have to come face to face. So it is hype building for sure. It's an amazing setup, but right now, the really all whether or not actually tries to go through this, because the moment he tries to go through with it, like he is, he's going to the Straw Hats. Obviously, Luffy's not going to let that happen at all. But him saying he's going to stay right there, it means that somebody else has to break up the wedding. So, Nami is the first person who comes to mind. I'm hyped to see what happens next. I'm assuming we're going to find out what happened with Nami Luffy. I still get the feeling she's going to use the Vivid card. It just makes more sense. But that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you did. Let me share your opinions and comments in the comments below.